For almost all of Porto's opinions, you were better than Chelsea. It was a bad result for the team. Those two goals, does the psychological side of the team being better but not being able to win strengthen you for the second match to respond to it? I think it was a beautiful match against Chelsea, but we were unable to achieve the result we wanted. And could have achieved. Unfortunately, we suffered 2 goals, but we do believe, we know it's difficult, but there's nothing to lose here. Good afternoon. Porto played well. That was acknowledged by everyone, but you didn't win. So what do you have to do differently? Is it just a matter of efficacy, or do you have to do something different? It's different matches, but I think we must be more efficient in the forward area. We must score. It will be a different match. Every match has its own value and its shape. I don't know if they will play the same way, but we know what we have to do and try to bring it to practice on the field. I have 2 questions for you. First of all, yesterday you felt again a strong support by your fans of the team. Playing 90 minutes like Porto, what does that mean for you, that expression of the 90 minutes the Porto way? And of course, I'd like to know your expectations now that you have Portuguese nationality to be part of the national selection. Well, I think their support is always unconditional. They always support us, and that's important. 90 minutes the Porto way is what we have to do in every match against Tondela, Chelsea, Nacional. That's what's about. When we wear this shirt, we have to play that way. As for the national team, I'm actually focused on tomorrow's match. What type of Porto team will we have tomorrow? A team searching to score a goal from the very first moment, a quiet and patient team trying to take opportunities and try not to be surprised? Well, that has to do with the coach. That's his tactics. But we know that to move forward, we have to score. So we will try to score. It will be a balanced match, but we will do our best. Porto must score and not suffer. Porto was never able to pass knockout with 2 goals disadvantage. The fact that it's a neutral field, can it be an advantage? No, I think a neutral field works for both teams, so there's no advantage. Just as they scored 2-0, we can score 2-0 also. So we have to believe. Otávio, I want to ask you objectively, against the match against Chelsea, what did you analyze and objectively see in terms of weaknesses you may explore, trying to turn around the results? As I said, it was a well-balanced match. We had a collective failure for both goals. It wasn't an individual problem. Otherwise, we could have scored 1 or 2 goals if we could be more effective. So we must believe, do what the coach asked us to do, and give it our best. Is that all? Thank you. Now questions for the coach. A new round with Portugal? No? Live for Porto TV and Portugal. It's different matches, you told us about that. But talking about the second half and the disadvantages in Torino and the turning everything around and moving forward in terms of motivation for you and the players, Is this an example? Well, there are many moments throughout the season that can be used as an example in the season and in the many years that we have been here. Examples of belief and of overcoming ourselves that results from the work we do here and the capacity to interpret what we want to do in the match. So we are confident. We know it's a difficult opponent, a difficult obstacle, but we are here to respond. It's not the fact that it's against Chelsea or the current situation. In the 44 matches, if I'm not mistaken, it must be around that. There were always 90 minutes the Porto way. Sometimes we face more difficult teams, but the feeling of representing this historic club and its DNA is always brought into the field, sometimes better, sometimes not so well, but we are people, we are men, and we have some better and some less good moments. That's part of life. Good afternoon. 1 week ago, you told us here that when analyzing Chelsea, you didn't see the defeat against West Bromwich. That was a result that could lead you to the knockout. Now, did you use it to show the players it's possible? No, as I said, I watched the goals and the match, but we didn't talk about that with the players. We are worried only about what we have to do according to the match strategy and the opponent itself. We won't just focus on one match because Chelsea lost. Of course, we observe certain situations. There are some fragilities that were clear, but it's not a reference because they had one less player. But it could also happen against us. So we have to see what we can do and explore it, but nothing else. Good afternoon. Sérgio Oliveira, is he ready and fit to play 90 minutes or not yet? We'll see till tomorrow. As you know, in the last match, as I could say in the flash interview, he wasn't yet ready for the 90 minutes. It was a small problem, a muscle problem, but it's always dangerous. This is an important part of the season. We're fighting for this knockout tie. We have some very demanding matches ahead of us, so we have to ponder very well between players that aren't 100% and those that are, and see the best 11 to face Chelsea. Also noticing that when you want to get things too fast, it can be harmful. We have to be cohesive, a compact team that must know that we have to score but not suffer. And that has to do with our match strategy, of course. I can tell you more than this. Chelsea goes into the field with a 2 goals advantage. We can see the match in 2 ways, that they could be proud or be cautious, because Chelsea had to face many difficult moments. Do you expect these 2 positioning ways? And on the other hand, do you think that Porto could show much more than it did in the first match? Well, about the opponent, I don't know what they will do. I don't have a magic ball to know what they will be positioning themselves. But we analyze the dynamics of the team and what we can and should do better. I think it was a match with a good level, but it wasn't very good. Otherwise, we would have won the match. And it's on that we will work and try to get even better at the good work of the team. Well, Sergio, you don't want to talk much about it, but I will insist. So I wanted to ask you whether one of the main difficulties preparing a match like this is knowing that you have a very efficient and very good quality team ahead, and that may lead to problems. Of course, they may feel tempted to add obstacles. Is that your difficulty in managing the games, the match strategy and the players? Well, I'll answer in a very simple way, and I think I'll be assertive. It's not with lots of forward players that we attack more or with more defenders that we defend better. Sergio, we talked about the reactions of international press. This is for SIC. We talked about all the appraisal, despite the defeat at the end of the game. The performance was very appraised, though you lost. You said you felt your team was capable and competent to reopen the knockout. So, what do you have to do tomorrow to do it? Score. Score a goal. Be well balanced in the different times of the match, not to be surprised, but it's most of all to score. One goal at a time, because we can't score two at the same time. But that calm and serious way of thinking, noticing what we have ahead of us, is important without being too anxious. It would be harmful otherwise. We just have to focus on the work and not just the final result, because we have to work to reach the end result, to achieve our goal. So it's important to think about what we have to do to achieve it. If I understood from when I was asking Otávio, you agreed with his answer about what he felt after yesterday's support of the football fans. How did the group see this demonstration of support by the fans? And for you also, what does it mean to play 90 minutes the Porto way? Well, it's what I said before. I noticed that Otávio was answering the right way. We have to give it our all. That's what it means. The capacity to believe, to be resilient, to understand that all difficulties we may have ahead of us can be overcome with a very strong mentality and state of mind. We always try to go in with that state of mind. That's what characterizes us, at least since I've been here. That's what I feel. And it was through those major difficulties we faced in the last 4 years that we could win titles. It would be impossible otherwise, because all other teams in Europe are well qualified, they have different financial capacity, and consequently that changes the quality of the players. In some cases, they have players that cost 3 times more than some of our players. There are players in the market that cost more than our whole team, but there are 2 situations that can result from my experience throughout the years. There are 2 things that don't win the matches: budgets and statistics. And I'm speaking against myself. In the last match against Chelsea, in statistical terms, we were great, but we lost 2-0. Someone is agreeing with me in the back? No, you were talking. Okay, so those 90 minutes the Porto way, of course, we don't have to talk about fan support because they are always there, physically or though not being here in presence, they are always with us. They feel the club in a passionate manner, as we can understand and as is widely known. Well, it's very normal, the message they sent. Two questions, if I may. The first is, this is the second time Porto is in the quarterfinals. What is the meaning if you got qualified for the semifinals? It means doing better than what we have been doing recently. We reached the quarters, we reached the eights, now we are in the middle of a knockout tie. Of course, that there is a growing gap between the teams outside of the 5 main world championships in financial terms, which highlights even further the journey, the whole journey of this team in the Champions League. And whichever the result may be, of course, no one wants to win as much as me, and I'm sure that the president and the fans feel the same as me, but not more. We cannot erase all that has been done and our whole journey in the Champions League. In a country like Portugal, we spend what we can and we face difficulties. It's an unbelievable difference compared to others. But as I said, as I was telling Anna, it's not the money that wins the matches, nor statistics, because of the last match. And as you can see, as you know, I'm not a coach that pays much attention to history. So we are here ready to fight. Do you feel more comfortable knowing that Taremi and Sérgio Oliveira may be available for this match, as they weren't in the first leg, being the 2 best players of the team? Do you feel more comfortable? Well, I feel comfortable to have everyone traveling with me. I just won't take Diogo Costa because he has COVID and cannot travel. We tried to find a protected area for him, but we couldn't inside the plane, so we will take everyone with us because we are a strong and united group, and being together is important now. Thank you.